All right, so today we're diving into a platform called SayWhat. It makes some pretty big promises about helping you grow on LinkedIn. We're going to break down how they sell that dream, looking at the story they tell, from the problem they start with, all the way to the pretty incredible results they claim you can get.
You know, every great pitch starts by hitting on a real pain point. And this one, it's a big one. It's that feeling, and if you're a creator, you know this feeling, of spending hours crafting a post, hitting publish, and then just crickets. That feeling is the hook for everything else they're about to tell you.
And to really make you feel that pain, their materials lay out this timeline, what they call the creator's grind. It's a journey, right? You start out all fired up in month 1. By month 3, you're thinking, okay, maybe I just need to hustle more. By month 6, it's just exhausting. And by the end of the year, you're pretty much ready to throw in the towel. It's a story of burnout, and it's designed to make you nod your head and say, yeah, they get it.
But right when the story hits that low point, that moment of total frustration, they flip the script. The whole narrative pivots. They basically say, hey, that burnout cycle, that doesn't have to be you. And they use their own case study as proof that there's another way. So to make the struggle feel concrete, they show you this before picture. A post that got just 129 impressions. We've all been there, right? That's a super relatable and kind of painful starting point. And then, bam, the after. Just 4 months later, they claim that same user is pulling in over 350,000 impressions. The jump is huge, and it's meant to be a little shocking. So let's put it all side by side. Here's the transformation they're selling. And look, it's not just about some vanity metric like impressions. They connect that crazy growth to a real result, 8,000 new followers. This is the core promise, a massive, almost unbelievable improvement in just 4 months. So how in the world do they claim to make this happen? Well, the materials introduce us to the SayWhat growth system, and it's all built on 3 main ideas, or pillars, as they call them. Let's dig into what those are. The very first pillar goes right after that staring at a blank page problem we talked about. The promise here is simple: to help you create better content and do it way faster, taking all the guesswork and the agony out of it. And how do they do that? Well, according to them, it's a bunch of tools. And as you can see, AI is a huge part of it. They claim their system can actually learn your unique writing style, help you generate posts, find inspiration from what's already going viral, and even turn your spoken ideas from a voice memo into a polished post. But you know, just creating a ton of content is only one part of the equation. So the second pillar is all about figuring out what's actually connecting with people. You know, turning all that data into a smart, actionable game plan. The features here are really about closing the feedback loop. The platform says it'll let you track all your engagement, spot potential leads for your business right there in the comments, and use real data about your audience to constantly tweak and improve your strategy. And that brings us to the third and final pillar. This one shifts from just creating and analyzing to actually talking to people. The whole idea is to help you build a real community, not just collect a bunch of followers. And to make that job feel less overwhelming, they say the platform gives you one single feed to see all your interactions. It even gives you AI-powered smart replies to help you engage with more people and suggest who you should be connecting with. It's all about making community management more efficient. Okay, so we've seen the system and all its features. But does it work? Now we get to the part of the pitch where they try to prove it. This next section is all about user stories, what marketers love to call social proof. They start with a quote that is frankly impossible to ignore. It's a real attention grabber because it's so specific. $25,000. It connects the platform directly to a huge financial win in a really short amount of time. And here is another one aimed at a different kind of user. This story links massive audience growth, going from 2,000 to over 50,000 followers, to an absolutely life-changing career move, landing 2 separate 6-figure advisory roles. So it's not just about followers or money. The source also makes a big deal about saving you time. This chart pulls together claims from different users who say the system saves them anywhere from 6 to a whopping 14 hours of work on LinkedIn every single week. Now, this quote is really interesting because it draws a straight line from one specific feature of the platform, this weekly content trend session, to an absolutely massive outcome.
A single post that got over 3 million impressions.
Okay. So what's the catch? What does all of this cost? The last part of their pitch is all about the price, but they're very strategic in how they present it. They start by talking about what the alternatives would cost you.
And this table is where their pricing psychology really kicks in. It's a classic marketing move called price anchoring. They list out all the things their platform supposedly replaces, coaches, analytics tools, you name it, and put a price tag on each one. And when you add it all up, their mouth comes out to over $1,000 a month. Now remember, that's not their price. That number's job is to just sit there in your mind and set a really high benchmark for what this kind of thing should cost. And then they hit you with the reveal. After getting you used to the idea of $1,000 a month, their price of $99 a month is designed to feel like an incredible deal. Not just fair, but a total steal. But what's really fascinating is that after showing off all this automation and all these amazing results, they make one final point. This is a direct quote from their FAQ section. They say, "This isn't for dabblers, it's for doers." It's a really smart way to manage expectations, making it clear that this is a tool for professionals who are still expected to put in the work. So there you have it. That's the story SayWhat tells. They find a pain point, they show you an amazing transformation, and they offer you a system to get there, all at a price that seems like a no-brainer. And it really leaves us with this huge question about where things are headed. Can a system, no matter how advanced, ever truly replace the grind and the soul of creative work? That's something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.